Hi, this is Rich Sparks, Baby Boomer University, and of Keller Williams, Senior Real Estate Specialist. And welcome to Baby Boomer University. Class is in session. Today we have a really great guest. We have Lisa Caretti from the Healing Nest. How you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no worries. We're excited. So you've got just an interesting story, and what you do is very interesting. So just starting off, can you give us like a bird's eye view of what the Healing Nest actually is?
Sure.
And you know it's bird's eye view,
yes.
nest. So
yes, got it.
I had to work
I
that.
Like that. Yeah, I appreciate that. The Healing Nest is a nonprofit organization, and we have two locations, one in Washington Township and one by Flint in Corona area. And we started in 2009, and we kind of bounced around a little bit. We're in hospitals and a few other places, and now we're out of homes. So my home and my friend's Trisha's. So what it is, we offer free services to women who are in treatment for any type of cancer.
Wow. And I mean, that's quite the mission statement. So, and what I've always found is people that have a mission statement or doing something like yours usually has a story behind it on how this came about. So what's the story? How'd this come about?
Well, I was volunteering at Gilda's house in
Gilda Radner?
Yes. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but there has been a nonprofit that's been made for her. And there's
Royal Oak?
Yes, and there's other locations as well.
Oh, okay.
So they had a special spa night, guest night for everyone. And I'm not really sure how I saw it, but I volunteered along with my friend. And while we were there, I thought, we were just chatting. We're like, we should do something like this. We could offer this, and maybe we could have it once a month or a week, or, So after that, my husband's like, you should start a nonprofit. Like that would have been so easy. Little did we know. But so that's really how the idea came, just from volunteering. It's
amazing where volunteering leads you.
Yes.
I mean, the vast majority of people on our team volunteers for a nonprofit. And so you're a masseuse by trade?
No, or I have a health and wellness business that I've had for several years called Arbonne. And we like to volunteer, we're all a bunch of do-gooders. And so that's really how it started, just a way to give back. At the time, my grandmother had passed away from cancer, my father, my grandfather. But after I started putting all this in place, was my own son was diagnosed with cancer as a little boy.
Oh, my goodness.
And so that was a long journey, but I learned a lot and got to appreciate exactly what people go through.
For sure. And now is your son okay now?
He is. Yeah, he works with me now. And
wow.
It's a great story, actually.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So then basically we have, you start volunteering, and Gilda Radner, by the way, was just awesome.
Oh, she was.
Yeah. And I remember Royal Oak was her first location, which is just fantastic. And what was her husband's name? Gene Weidler?
Yes.
And from everything I've ever read about him, he was just a phenomenal human being. So you got there, you got motivated, you decided you're going to do this. And so how did you start executing? I mean, a lot of people get motivated when they do things and go, this would be a great idea, but it never goes from idea to execution. So how did you make that transition?
Well, I researched how to make that happen and found out, you need a lawyer really to drop all the paperwork and file everything. And so, I asked for some favors from my brother-in-law, and, we got that going, and we've just done, one step in front of the other. We try this, doesn't work, try something else, and that's how we got it going.
Okay. So what was something you tried initially that didn't work?
Well, we were at the hospital, Henry Ford, but was, I think, St. Joe's at the time, in Clinton Township. So there was just a lot of red tape, and believe it or not, we couldn't get patients. We would be set up in there. I don't know what happened, but we would be all ready to go, and they were supposed to come funnel through the hospital. So we thought we can't go through all this and drag people, because we use licensed volunteers for everything, for the services that we offer.
Right.
And so we tried numerous times, and that was just like hitting our head against the wall. So then we tried out of someone's storefront in Clinton Township, and that was okay for a while, but it still wasn't exactly what we wanted. If you're in someone else's store, it's kind of more what they want.
Oh, for sure.
because it's their store.
You're a guest.
That's right. I'm a guest. So at that time, my son was then diagnosed with brain cancer. And so I had to step away. And my friend Trisha Dazinski, who has the other location, said, you know what, I'm just going to do this out of my house. And she's got this gorgeous Victorian home. It's beautiful. It's perfect. And that's how she just started doing it.
Well, I think it's almost better just because you're kind of getting away from a clinical situation.
Yes.
That's very interesting. And your son was actually diagnosed with cancer after you had been doing this for a while.
Yes.
Wow, that must have been pretty dramatic. I mean, you're involved with these folks. You kind of see this. You have a much bigger picture than most of us. Mm-hmm. And how did that go? Was that?
Well, like I said, it was a long road. He had brain cancer. He had 2 different brain tumors and then developed leukemia from the treatment. So it went on for a long time. But, out of everything bad, good things always happen.
Oh, for sure.
And I've got to really put myself in everyone's position, the caregiver, the patient. I got to see everything. And
well, that's something. That's something. So this journey you've been on, how has it progressed so far? Like, where are you at right now? What would be a daily event, or how does this all work currently?
Well, we open the doors up once a month, and it is run like a spa. So we reach a letter out to everyone and say, hey, can you make it to the next? And our next one will be September 5th, by the way. So we say, if you're able to make it to September 5th, Healing Nest, and then we reach out to all the volunteers, because we really need them.
Right.
And make sure the date coordinates. And then we ask them to pick out the 3 services that they would like to have. So we try to do the best to make, their wishes come true, accommodate depending on what volunteers we have. So we have massage and Reiki, reflexology, facials, makeover, manicures most of the time, and whatever else I can,
whatever you can muster
whatever
up.
I can get, right. Yeah. Yes.
Wow. So how do you find your guests?
Well, I've gone to a lot of different like trade shows, like the Lavender Festival or any kind of event, and have a table. We put brochures and flyers into doctors' offices, word of mouth. A lot of the patients that come, then they meet people in the office while they're there, and they bring their friends that they meet.
Okay. Do you get a lot of people saying like, hey, what's the catch?
I think at first, sometimes you'll get some skeptical. They want to make sure, which is understandable because they're coming into my home.
Sure.
So it could be awkward. So we do everything. We send out a welcome letter first, what to expect. Like, expect my 2 big dogs will greet you, so if you're afraid of them, they have to know that because there's nowhere to put them because they're big, but they love the day. So they're like healing dogs, really. We tell them we're dressed comfortable, and bring slippers, and if they need someone to drive them and that friend needs to stay, they are welcome to stay. They don't have services, but they can have tea, and we always feed a beautiful sit down lunch, like with Crystal and China, and so they can stay for lunch too.
Well, that is very cool. Now, do you get a lot of camaraderie going on between the guests?
Yes. And that's been the most beautiful part. I mean, I thought they would mingle and while they're waiting for services over tea, I thought that would be the case, but they've even gone on to become lifelong dear friends.
Really?
Which is really makes me so happy.
Well, just having that built-in support group, going through, knowing someone or meeting someone that's going through the same thing you are.
Right.
Do you have any stories like that you can share that you've seen it really work out well?
What I really see is that their gratitude for this because, their family maybe not want to hear about this all the time, which I understand. And as much as they love them, you never really can understand totally unless you're in that position, unless you're a patient. It's just different. Like
for sure.
Yeah, I'm a caregiver, but I'm not a patient. So that's even different. So they can relate to each other in a special way. And now I see that they've gone to be friends and they go places together. And, as some of them get sick, they drive each other to the event. And
Well, that is
it's
awesome.
very beautiful.
It is. And you're right. Being a caregiver, I mean, on average, some of the stats I've read, being a caregiver, they tend to get sick and pass away before their people they're giving the care
Yes,
to.
yes.
So it's very stressful on them. And I imagine part
it
of
is.
that, right, that self-preservation is you almost get clinical.
Mm-hmm.
So they do stop relating because they've heard it day in and day
Right.
out, and they feel for them.
Yes.
So that's pretty awesome. It's probably the caregivers that stick around. It's probably a little rejuvenating for them, I would imagine.
Yes. They can put their feet up and not be in charge for the day. And,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Just a break.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they drop them off and go, I'll be
Yeah.
back in 1 hour. So what's the average time someone stays when they come by?
Well, we volunteers come at 8:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to wake up my household and make sure everyone else is out. And then the guests arrive about 1:45, and then we start services at 9 a.m.
Wow.
We keep to a pretty tight schedule. We have a volunteer that's a former school principal, that makes our schedule for us. So they're
really?
everything in, yes. And she's a stickler for everything. And so they're greeted at the front door, and we have someone that checks them in, gives them a name tag, and someone else will walk them downstairs. That's usually where they'll sit and wait in front of a fireplace while waiting to be called for their service. And so services go on till about 11:30. And when everyone is finished, then we'll start serving lunch. Yeah.
Oh, so they tend to come and stay.
Yeah, they stay the whole time.
Wow. And how many people do you usually have?
We have about 15 guests usually at one time.
Awesome.
Our other location, they get about 25.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really incredible. So, I mean, how much time do you spend in because basically it sounds like right now it's a monthly event.
Yes.
And for that 5-hour period of time when you're actually performing the event, how much time and preparation do you do to get ready for that?
Well, a lot, because I have 5 people in my house and 2 big dogs. So the house looks great when they arrive, but it doesn't always look like that. So I'll have the house totally cleaned professionally and disinfected, because many people their immune systems are down.
Oh, that's a good point.
And we're very conscientious of that fact. So that's like a couple days before. Then I have to start pulling out all supplies, because we use different rooms, different stations for this and that, and we use all vegan, chemical-free products.
Oh, wow.
We provide it all, so the volunteers that come don't have to bring anything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, sometimes we might need one to bring a massage table, because I have 3 already, but
right. But
yeah, if we need more, if we're having a
Right.
couple.
or if you're just lucky enough to get enough volunteers.
Yes, we've been very blessed with that.
Well, that is
Yes.
fantastic. And so the whole family, it's like, oh, it's that time of month
Right.
again.
Yep. Rise and shine. Get out.
Love you, but hit the bricks.
Right.
I can hear you. You
Yeah.
know, and I totally understand in the housing. I have a dog and kids.
Yeah.
And, you know, it always looks great after the person that comes and cleans the
Right.
house.
Yes.
And then
I'm like, but don't touch anything. You know, let it stay nice.
it never works that way.
No, it doesn't.
No. Well, that's something. So the guest comes. They're going to mingle with other folks. They're going to get to relax. Now, do you have repeat guests, or is it
Yes.
kind of a...
We have repeat guests. And so as long as they're in treatment.
Okay.
So sometimes people are like on a maintenance program and, you know, have had a really rough go. They can keep coming too,
Okay.
you know. So as long as they're in treatment, and some are going to be in treatment forever.
Right.
So they look forward to coming back.
Wow, what a blessing for these people. And how neat. Now, where would you want to take this? I mean, because it's very expandable, but it's only based on resources,
Right.
including
Exactly.
your own time. And
Yes. Right. Because right now it is just a volunteer. You know, no one makes a penny off of anything.
Right.
You know, it's just strictly in our little donations that we get. But we have talked about if we could rent a house and then offer it a couple, you know, maybe twice a month or weekly. And originally we had wanted to incorporate children, something for them, so that they could, you know, come get a day. Maybe not quite the same thing, but there's art therapy and, you know, they can enjoy massage or Reiki or
There's
something
canine
like that.
therapy.
Yes, canine
there's
therapy. Yes.
Music therapy is awesome. There's tons of
Right.
things out there. What's the most popular service that you offer?
Probably the massage.
Yeah.
I think everyone picks that. Massage or the reflexology seems to be the popular. All the girls love to get their nails done, but for some reason that's the hardest volunteer to get.
Really?
We're perplexed on this because there's nail places every corner, and we have tried. We've put a lot of time into this.
Wow.
So we get them sometimes, but not enough. So.
And I think is there some special state licensing a nail technician would have to have, so you couldn't just have like anybody do it?
They have to be licensed. Everyone that performs the services are licensed.
Yeah, because you got to watch. I mean,
right.
Even in volunteerism, you have to watch your liability.
Right.
So, well, that's interesting. So, if someone out there does nails professionally and they're licensed,
yes, please contact me.
Yeah, it's 1 day a month.
1 day.
That's it. That's it. And, the best thing is when you're a volunteer and you're helping others, you get more out of it than they do.
Yes.
And that's something where we have all these issues going on in the world. If everyone was required to volunteer once a month, a lot of these would go away.
I agree.
So we've got people coming in for massages. There got to be some times though where it gets kind of tough where that person isn't maybe going to come out of this.
Yes.
And how does that go? Because that's got to be brutal.
Well, it is. We've lost a few guests, over the years, and they become like family. So
you have them in your home.
Right. Yeah. So everyone misses them. The guests miss them. We miss them. It's tough. And we offer, when some time has passed after they have passed away, we offer a gift certificate for a memory bear that one of the volunteers and my dear friend Sue Kolongowski makes. So the gift certificate goes to the family.
Oh, what'd you call it? A memory?
A memory bear.
Okay.
So what that is, I send a letter with it and a gift certificate, and says, maybe Susie's favorite nightgown that she wore. She will turn that into bears, little memory bears.
Aww.
And she does a great job, like with movable parts. They're adorable. And
wow, that's really
yes,
something.
I mean, she does that for everyone, but this is something very special. Or even a pillow, but that way that the family members have something to remember, like, something personally that they wore.
Right, something that was a good memory.
Right, and it's our little reach out to say how much we enjoyed having that person with us.
Well, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I mean, it's quite the mission that you've put forth. So over, let's say, 5 years from now, what would be like oh my gosh, I'm looking back, I can't believe we're at this point now. What would that picture be?
It would be an old Victorian house, really cute, that we were sitting in, that we could offer, like I said, different services and just a peaceful place for people to get away, and even offer up a day for men too.
Us men, we're always last.
I know, you're always last.
That's it. It's like, my wife went for a pedicure with my mom the other day. They called me while they were there. Did they ask? No. No. That's just how it rolls.
It is that way.
So basically, you'd like to get up to more days a week, being able to offer it out to more people or more days a month.
Yes.
And obviously, at some point in time, you'd have to have some type of support because you can only get volunteers to come away from their day job.
Right.
And how would that work out? Have you thought of like a future board or a pathway that you'd love to be able to go down?
Yes. Well, we would have to, we can't ask people to volunteer forever. So we would have some special people that we would pay them to be on call or have certain days available for service.
Okay.
That, I'm sure would do it at a reasonable price, but, I appreciate people's time, so we would want to pay them for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, people can have the best of intentions, but they have a family they have
right.
to take
Everyone,
care of too.
That's exactly right.
So, how would you get from the point you're at now to get to that level? Is there a game plan, like looking for corporate sponsors?
We are. We've been putting our information together to apply for some grants, and we do some fundraisers. We only have little ones kind of going on right now, so we'd have to pull our resources together to come up with a bigger one.
What kind of fundraiser do you have going now?
Well, every year we do one at Denowith's, a flower fundraiser. It's in May, usually like the second or third weekend.
And you're selling flowers?
They just come and shop and like whatever they need for their garden. I don't know if it's garden art,
okay.
if it's flowers, it's vegetables, whatever. When they check out, they just have to say it's for the healing nest, and we get a portion.
Okay.
So that's an easy one because it doesn't require, we've
Right.
done some other ones that are a lot of work, a lot of work and very time consuming. And, after the last one, I don't know, I'm going to get that many people back for my, family and friends to help out. So yeah.
We just finished our annual Rotary golf outing. That's our major fundraiser.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm one of the 2 chair people. Yes, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
So, okay, so you're thinking about different fundraisers.
Yes.
It'd be great to get some corporate sponsors.
Right.
Looking at grants. And who's your grant writer?
We don't have one. So.
Okay, so if someone was a grant writer,
right.
that's a service that would be a great way to
Yes.
volunteer.
Mm-hmm. Much appreciated.
And is there a lot of grants? I've written grants before, not volunteering, by the way.
Okay.
But
Okay.
nothing personal. But is there a lot of grants out there to
I
go
have
after?
heard. I have looked at a
Okay.
few, and I think that there is a few that's available for us.
Okay, awesome. So if someone wanted to help, just the general public, non-corporate, because I think a lot of times people, when it comes to charities, they don't realize it's almost like that old story of the starfish on the side,
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
where it's like, well, it mattered to that one.
Yeah.
And they feel if they can't do something big, why do anything at all? And what would you say to like the general public listening on how they could get involved and how it would impact you?
Okay. Yeah. Every little bit helps us. If you can, like for volunteering, if you are not a licensed someone, you can come serve food. You can make food because we provide a beautiful lunch, and I do not cook for that because I'm, busy getting the house ready.
Right.
Yeah. So that could be something. We have someone that volunteers by strictly making the dessert each month.
Okay.
So, yeah, they could help with social media. There's so many things to do. Help advertise, help get the word out.
Okay.
Yeah. Or, any donation we put to good use. We did cancer care packages last year that we donated to Beaumont for all the women and going through, and men too. Actually, we had some for men. So there, some men got a little love there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So any donations whatsoever, greatly appreciated.
Yes.
And anyone that wants to volunteer, greatly appreciated.
Yes.
And we're hoping that you can have great success and grow this outside of just your house.
Yes. Thank you.
Because I think it's a wonderful thing you're doing, and you're really directly impacting folks that are going through, bar none, one of the worst times possible someone can go through.
Yeah.
And I think it's awesome that you started this. I mean, who knew when you went to volunteer that day?
I know. We talk about that. Who knew?
Right?
Yes.
And that's how things go. It's like, good golly, let me do this one time. And here you are years later.
Right.
How many years has it been total?
Well, I think since 2009 is when we started. Yes.
Wow. So you're passing a decade.
Yes.
That's pretty substantial.
Yeah.
And you've had some growth, and you're doing some beautiful things. How many people do you think you've impacted over that decade?
I'm not sure about the other location because they do get more, but a couple hundred for sure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you've impacted a couple hundred people's lives.
Right. And their families, because we do get notes and cards from the family.
Oh, do you?
Yes. Thanking us and how much it meant to their loved one to be a part of this.
Is there one particular note or letter that someone sent you that just really grabbed you at that time when you're like, why am I doing this?
Yes. Well, there was a gentleman, and when he dropped his wife off, she was very sick, and she was just a sweetheart. And he brought her to the front door and walked her to the door, and we had tears in his eyes, and so just for us to take good care of her.
Yeah.
And we kept in touch, and he wrote us a really nice letter along with a beautiful donation after. But it's just that we were able to do something, made us feel so
great.
good.
Yeah, I think that's just great. And, well, you love this person, and to see someone else going out of their way for them,
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing better, right?
Right.
So, all right. So, Lisa, if you could say one thing to everyone out there, what would it be?
Well, I probably would be just to share what we have, because that's the one thing that I hear from people is that after they finish treatments that we didn't know you were there.
Right.
So we have a website and a Facebook page. And so
And go ahead and say the
the
website
website
address.
is thehealingnest.org.
And I looked at that, and you have this really cool button at the bottom that if someone wants to use, what was that button?
The donate one?
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's so easy.
Yeah,
You
so
just click it and
15 seconds of your time, you
Yes.
can make a huge impact. And, you know, if someone's out there is a multi-millionaire and they want to set up a huge fund, you'd accept that,
I would
I'm sure.
accept that.
You would?
I
Okay.
would.
So we just want to make sure.
Okay. Yeah,
You
I
know.
would. I would accept that.
All right. Because
Put it to good use too.
absolutely. And that the thing is, you know, God bless you for just going out and doing this and just having such a positive impact onto people. I think it's a beautiful thing. I know Nick heard about you from somehow, I don't know how. And he came right to me. He's like, Rich, you got to get her on and find out about this. And we were looking a little bit, and it really is. This whole world, if everyone had that same type of mindset of yours, is just, you know, it made a difference to that one. Man, what a beautiful place it'd be,
I agree.
you know? So I just appreciate you coming on. If anyone would like to look at, and I highly recommend it, go to it's thehealingnest.com.
.org.
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 Okay, healingnest.org. Check out what they're doing. If you have someone that is going through cancer treatments right now.
Right.
So we've got September, and then when's the next one?
October, November, and then December is a large Christmas party.
Okay.
We invite back all the past guests
Oh, really?
and the new guests, and we'll do we usually just do 2 services for time's sakes,
Okay.
and then a really fancy lunch, and then gifts. We
Wow.
give them gifts too.
Now, the guests that come back for that one, that's in remission
Yes.
or whatever, did they interact with the folks going through it and kind of
Yes.
cheer them on a little?
They do.
Oh,
Yeah.
how awesome is that? Right? I mean, it's like anything. It's, I forget the athlete's name, but when he broke the 2-minute mile, and before that time, was it Mark Spitz? No, that's wrong.
I knew the 4-minute mile. I was just
The
reading
4
about
minute,
that
yeah.
the other day. Yes.
But basically, no human had done it before.
Right.
And as soon as he did it, in the next 3 years, like 20 more people did it.
Yes.
So getting those people that survived cancer, and a good friend of ours who's also in Rotary, Todd McKay, he's a cancer survivor, and they have a run coming up. But I should probably connect the two of you together.
That would be great. Yeah.
He's really an interesting guy, and just getting that out there and putting those folks together that, yes, you can do this. It is a possibility, because, I mean, I know if I had that call from everything you hear, it's just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily the case.
Right. That's right.
So, all right, so reach out to Lisa Caretti at thehealingnest.org.
Yes, that's correct.
Volunteer, do a little donation. If you want, do a monthly donation. Totally good. And if you have any questions, reach out. If you have someone that could use these services, the best way for them to get a hold of you?
They should go right to that website, because
Okay.
there's application. There's like a permission slip from their doctor, all the
Oh, okay.
forms, everything is on there.
Wow, so you really have a lot to set up before someone walks in that door. You know, because, right, I mean, it might sound good, but it might not be the best thing. Let the doctors.
Right. And just to make sure we've not had a doctor say no, that they couldn't, but maybe they'll suggest not massage this time or something. So
Sure.
it's just better to ask.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, all right. Well, thank you so much for coming
Well,
on.
thank you for having me.
No
Very
worries.
grateful for that.
And this is Baby Boomer University. Class is dismissed. You want to hit the bell for me?
Yes, I do.
All right. Sweet. Good job. Thanks. All right. Nice job.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing so cool.